One of the things I have covered when the stimulus check coming out in multiple states, we also addressed the Russian invasion news, and I got more updates on that day because we are coming down very soon, and we also have the major stock market update as well. Something could happen on specific day this week. We've learned that California was expected to provide an additional Golden State stimulus that's likely going to be for more $1,100. We know in Indiana, residents will be getting an additional $125 back as the tax refund. In Florida, they are still planning on sending out $1,000 stimulus bonuses to teachers to keep them employed. Also, keep them on as a teacher. In the New York State, we are seeing that they planned on the sending undocumented workers a stimulus payment if they have yet to receive on the past. Now, as another state that we can add to this list, because on Thursday, the Maine governor announced that they want to provide and use about half of the state $822 million project toward the stimulus checks. They are going to allocate $411 million toward these checks, and these will be for $500 each. And out of 1.4 million Mainers that live in Maine, we are going to see about 800,000 people receive this check. That's a pretty substantial number. But here's what we need to understand. So the governor's supplemental budget should be released on Tuesday. So on Tuesday or Wednesday, we should have more information on these specific stimulus checks. But again, the reason why I continue to bring up different states, what they are proposing, their ideas is actually pretty simple. It's because right now the states are going to have the surplus of money. Multiple state officials believe that if the surplus of money is direct, it's really much direct the result of taxes coming from the American people, and then we should send that money back to the people. The fastest way to accomplish this is through the stimulus check. Now, does that mean every state is going to do another stimulus payment? But is that going to be the best way to get the money back into American people's hands? So it just depends on your specific state. But keep this in mind. These are state-funded stimulus checks. These are from the federal government, and at this time, any additional stimulus from the federal government is almost not going to be happen. So it's almost your certainty that we will not see any additional funding from the federal government now at this point, with the inflation being aware of this. So right now, with inflation being everywhere, Americans can avoid it no matter what you're doing, what you are trying to accomplish, what you are saying. Everybody's saying that the price of food is rising, the prices of services are going up. This is causing Americans to we can't say as much. We are saying less, and we are investing less, paying down debt and slower rate, buying item at the slower pace, and this could actually lead to more financial issues. Currently, we are seeing a wave of bankruptcies and foreclosures that are starting to feel granted. Foreclosures are still well under the rate that we saw before the pandemic, but they are starting to climb, and experts worry that as foreclosures start to climb, what happens is the foreclosure increase rate. We get more and more foreclosures, but it put more pressure on banks in the banking system. It now means most likely the people that weren't working, chances are they are not working anymore. So that means we are seeing more businesses go under, and a lot of it is due to lack of workers or limited amount of supply. So the supply chain is lead to more workers shortages, which could lead to foreclosure and also bankruptcies, huge issues. And in regards to inflation, we are seeing the price raise by different amount at completely different times in the different areas. Now here, what we know regarding situation up in Canada. What we know is that the Canadian police at this point are beginning arrest the protester who made it the US-Canada bridge. Now, this bridge accounts for between the 20 to 25% of the goods that are coming to the United States, so this is a very important bridge. So, open this bridge will help out supply chain issues, but here's the problem. The problem right now is that it's where the SADA was very peaceful protest, and experts worry about that addressing those that are still protecting will only broken others. And here, what we are seeing as right now, there are still reports from Department of Homeland Security that we will see a trucker protest down in California for support. Whether it's happened or not, we don't know, but that's a still report. Multiple media outlets are stating that the build of the forces and the way military equipment it has been the maneuver. Things look like they will be taking place very soon in Ukraine. Yesterday, CBS News stated that its present briefing in the Russian plans on invading Ukraine on February 16, and that this Wednesday. Here, what I can tell you as an investor. So if the Russians decided to invade Ukraine on the 16th, we will see the stock market go down. Rob Powell will expect it to speak. With any time he talks, the stock market goes down. And what we could potentially see, just give me an idea. It could seriously curse the stock market into deep dive. But we will see if this actually happens because things are coming down on the wire. And what we do know is that sometime today could have already happened. As of right now, I haven't seen any report. But today, President Biden and Ukraine soon will speak sometime. We also know that the German constant track plans to travel to Kiev and Moscow to hopefully prevent this attack. I don't know if this is going to be successful, but it could be bad if the Russian invades Ukraine on Wednesday. We could see the market completely plummet. Not just Wednesday, maybe Thursday and Friday as well. If this happened, and this is something that we will see over the past about a month or so, is that we could see the wealth of the million of Arab Americans accrued over the past 2 years. We could see all that weather completely to get people away. So then what happens? Let me just give you an idea of the beginner's picture. Right now, millions of Americans are looking at right here their real estate investment that help get in the second mortgage. A home equity line of credit, taking equity out of their home in some way or other to refinance a new cash out of refinancials. And we don't know, but they are taking money out of their homes and their investment in or out their property loan, their wealth, and which is fairly high. They are taking money out to pay for renovation, education, and new cars, and all these different things. What happens when what they bought it for and all profits, and that they have their unrealized gains. They start coming down, which rarely has they tapping into the funds, and it's come down a little bit more. What happens when we see the plummet in the stock market and things go under, where people are now negative?